Alright, so first video I did, I went over this Ar-15, but I did a terrible job. That was my first video. I made the sheet more eligible handwriting. So we're gonna go over this build today and break down what the build costs, the parts, if you want to build this same gun. The gun is clear. So if you guys are wondering, it's not loaded, it's nothing in there. So I'm gonna go over it today. This is a Anderson Manufacturing AM-15. I paid around $700 for this gun stock. So I added the ambidextrous arm spec Victory charging handle here. So you can pull it from either side and it'll charge and rack around. This is the Ragna M-Lock 4-end. This is 15.5 inches. And I paid roughly around $164 for this. Give or take, you know, with shipping and all that. But that's like the base price for it that I paid. This is the Vortex Venom 6x24. This was $450. And then, you know, taxes and stuff like that. I believe it did come with the bracket to mount to. I'm not too sure, I don't remember. Also, what else we got here is the Lancer Adaptive Magwell, extended magwell. You know, honestly, my honest opinion on this, if you don't have the if you don't have the money for it, you don't have to spend it. It's not that much of a big of a difference. I mean, unless you're like trying to reload super fast, but honestly, just more of a look factor to me. I mean, I'm not out here doing speed runs and stuff, so I couldn't really tell you, but if you're just building the shoot long distance and, you know, nothing crazy and trying to do competitions and stuff, this is you don't really need the extended magwell. But it is nice to have if you're, I'm sure it guides you in better, but I don't do speed reloads and stuff like that, you know, haven't got into that yet, you know, still getting into this transitioning to guns, still learning as well. So this I got here, this grip is the ultralight aluminum pistol grip. This was around $130, which they have cheaper ones, but I did want to go with the most lightest one I could find. And I also got here Strike Industries angle grip. That was around $50. And I'm missing a few things, like this stock. I'm not sure, I don't remember what stock this was. I've been trying to find when I bought it. And I'm also missing this. I forgot what brand this is, but this is to where you could do lock the slide both sides. Here. I also got a different bolt. It's light CNC cut and stuff like that. Also got a stronger buffer tube in here, and extended mag release. And this is the lock the slide, which you guys seen in the other video that I demonstrated. But so all in all, total build, which I'm leaving out a few things. I forgot what this barrel was. So, you know, you could probably add $100, $200 for the stuff that I'm missing. But so far, what I listed and showed you, the total is $1,724. And that's not including taxes or shipping or none of that stuff, because I did order this online. Or if you go to the store, you know, you might get it, you know, cash deal, get it for this price even. However, you know, however you go about building it. And like I said, you don't gotta go get the expensive stuff. This isn't really expensive, but it wasn't budget friendly. I guess $1,700 on the AR. A lot of people really aren't gonna spend that kind of money, which is understandable. But if that's what you're looking for, this is a great gun. I love the scope. Worth every penny for the scope. All right, I'll tell you what. So let me show you this here. This is the grouping that I did at like 100 and some change, 120, 115 yards. Still dialing it in. It was windy that day as well, so, but for all in all, and the range I go to, they only allow you 5 shots in your magazine, and you gotta wait 5 seconds before each shot. Weird rules, but it is what it is. All right, so now we're gonna go over the Glock 43. So I paid $500 for this, brand new, and I got the build sheet here, which I'll add a photo in it so you guys can look up the parts and see if it's something that you're interested in. This build was a little more on the expensive side, but I will say worth every penny. And this is really my everyday gun. So accurate, and I recommend it. But if you're budget friendly, you can go with cheaper slides, cheaper stuff. But this is just what I happened to go with at the time. So first off, I did the SIG Romeo Red Dot 0, Romeo 0. Favorite red dots for, I'm a compact guy. I like compact pistols. I'm not big on the big bulky shit because I like to conceal. I don't want nobody knowing that I'm carrying a firearm when I do. So the red dot was around 140, but I'm sure like now they're having deals on them. So when you could catch deals, they'll have deals, you get them cheaper. But when I bought it, it was 140. This slide here is a KS-43 Shark, and it's in tin rainbow. And this slide was around 360. So then I went with the barrel. I went with Fax and Match Series flooded threaded barrel. That barrel was $130, and really neat looking barrel. Really like it. Pretty sick. Matches the slide perfect. And then the compensator, I went with the Agency 417C. Love it. And that ran me about, I think that was like $110. You know, add a little more, give or take, for the shipping and all that stuff. And this here is the grip. This is a hand lit grips, Amazon cheap grip tape. $20 for it. Love it. It's really nice. Feels great. Really textured. Really love it. It's not bad at all. I also got one that's stippled, and honestly, I don't recommend stipling unless you really got a guy that's really good at it, because I'm gonna grab it here, the Glock 45, just to show you guys the stipling versus the sticker. And the sticker doesn't mess up your gun. So this here is the Glock 45. Magazine's empty. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Not a fan of it, you know. Doesn't really look, I don't know, maybe it's just the guy who did this one, but, or the style that I picked, not sure, but not really a fan of it. So I recommend just doing the sticker. I recommend just doing the sticker because you can peel it off and you get the same feel, not as rough, but it's still, you know, grip, and it won't mess up your gun. So I really recommend doing that. I don't recommend the stipling unless you can find somebody that does really good stipling, but I'm not a fan of this one. It just, you know, hey, to each their own though. Some people might like this. And I got more parts coming in for this. The slides I'm getting sent out. So it's gonna be optic ready. You'll be getting the barrel cut and all, the slide cut and all that, but we're gonna, that's for another time. All right. Appreciate you guys watching. And I'm gonna post a picture of that at the end of the video so you guys can see what parts to search. This is a cheap Amazon thing, so yep. This is the 43X build.